Now, of course, water security and sanitation are flagged as not only a national crisis, but also a global one, more especially in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. Deputy President David Mabuza is visiting the Northern Cape and Free State provinces today. He'll be assessing the extent of pollution in the Vaal River system and also water and sanitation-related issues in both provinces. eNCA reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones is covering that story for us, and he joins us now live. Pule, the Vaal River system and the Vaal River itself, we've heard this so many times. When Minister Nomvula Mokonyane was still Minister of Water and Sanitation, it then moved to Minister Lindiwe Sisulu. There was a time the SANDF was sent out to, make sure that the plans to clean up that system goes well. What new information is coming out today?
Well, a very good afternoon, and what we also know is that the Human Rights Commission has also come out to actually raise concerns about the extent of the quality of water across the country, especially at a time whereby taps run dry during the COVID-19 pandemic. And well, in his capacity as the Interministerial Committee Chairperson, David Mabuza, Deputy President, is facilitating the outdoor process of inspecting and trying to see how this province, particularly in Kimberley, is experiencing systematic challenges in terms of water having to be distributed to some of the communities around here. Actually, if you come across and you drive around Kimberley, you'd see that there's already a problem when you speak to some of the community members who say they haven't had water for quite a while. You see water just flowing across the streets, and it shows that there is quite a serious problem that still has to be dealt with. In fact, the Saul Blackie municipality was on a mission to try and refurbish and fix the home of our water waste system plant, which is actually distributing some of the water across the communities in this area. And while that's still the case, community members are expecting that with the Deputy President's visit in the province, some of these challenges can be addressed and can be attended to urgently.
Now, Pule, what is it that the Deputy President has seen so far in the province of Kimberley? What is it that you have witnessed since you arrived there?
Well, so far he's been accompanied by, an entourage of a delegation, including the Premier of the province as well. And he's gone on site to actually see how some of, the plants have been polluted and how, there are systematic, challenges that have been experienced by, some of these plants that are actually distributing water to communities. In fact, what we do know now is that in a couple of minutes he will be, talking to the media in terms of what can be a way forward. Where we are right now is actually a program where farmers are being addressed. That's one of the issues that have been raised here, saying that farmers actually can't practice proper farming on their lands as well, because they're being affected by not receiving enough water as well, and their taps run dry. So it's quite a problem that also impacts food productivity and in turn impacts the economy of the country. But most importantly here, this comes at a time whereby the local government elections are coming on the 1st of November, and if you look at that, particularly when you link the element of community members and the local government elections, they are saying that this has been a problem for quite some time, and they will exercise their vote when the local government elections come through, because they believe that their grievances have been falling on deaf ears. For you not to have water during a deadly pandemic, that's quite a concern, and they believe that while their grievances have been ignored for quite some time, that's what they will do. Go to vote and exercise their rights by actually voicing out their concerns. And this is something, I think, the government and, of course, the ruling party might be wanting to look into, delivering services for community members, especially in these affected areas.
And Pule, just very quickly before I let you go, this is something that South Africans have been protesting about for a long time. If we take our viewers to the Free State, for instance, a couple of years ago, when Andries Tadane was shot down by police, during the time that the community there of Vryburg was protesting over a lack of quality water.
True. You go to places like the Northwest and Bojanal as well. places there that haven't had water for months. You know, when you go there, community members actually tell you that, well, that's the new norm. That's how they're used to it. And it's actually not supposed to be like that. I mean, you'd believe that there are programs in place to actually uplift and build those communities in terms of accelerating service delivery. But it'll be very important to hear what the Deputy President has to actually unpack after he's actually witnessed this, and we'll actually be following him to go to the Free State as well, where the Vaal River is said to be, you know, experiencing challenges in terms of pollution. And, you know, the program that will be actually, released by the President, the Deputy President, in terms of what will be the next step of direction on uplifting these communities and providing, you know, clean services like water, which is a basic necessity. We then have to ask those questions and see, or rather wait and see what he will be saying about the program and what will be the next step of direction in terms of, you know, having how communities have proper water they can drink.
All right, Pule Letshwiti-Jones, let's leave it there for now. I said Freiburg earlier on, and I meant to say Vicksburg, where Andries Dadane was shot dead by police during a protest over quality water. Now, still